Well, hello, fabulous people. I'm Melissa, and this is Just for Conversation. Thank you for stopping by to spend a few minutes with me today. If you are new and you just kind of found me, I'm so happy that you stumbled upon this channel. Um, and I hope everything in your world is amazing. So, today is Monday, November 23rd. Thanksgiving is approaching. Family time and hanging out with friends and such is generally what we do around the holidays. I'm not much of a holiday person myself, so I tend to just kind of do whatever. That's what brings me by to chat with you today. We're going to talk about a first date that I had that blew my mind. I don't date much, haven't been in a dating scene in quite some time. So I decided to be adventurous and get on this dating site and put my little profile together. And I just started meeting people, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting a whole bunch of guys and, learning about where they're from and what they're doing. I had to weed out a lot of the scammers, of course, who were ultimately going to ask me for money. But after I did that, it was cool. It's been fun and very interesting. So, I run across this fella who's very close to me here in Tennessee, in my town, and he decided that we had talked enough. We need to go out and do something. This too was on a Saturday, a couple Saturdays ago. I got dressed, I got up, put my good hair on, got a little cute, and said, let's do it. So we go and meet at a local park. Slightly cloudy, overcast day, but there was sun peeking through. It was a nice time. So we're sitting in the park on a park bench in between our vehicles, and we're talking about everything from parenting and our crazy kids and past relationships. We're talking about things to do in town, where we go for fun, childhood, how we grew up, parents, you name it, we're talking about it. We are having the best time. We really are having the best time. So, about 3 hours in, okay? 3 hours in to me laughing and kikiing with this dude, and he's laughing and kikiing, and we're just having the time of our lives. Out of nowhere, well, it was out of somewhere. He had checked his phone. His alert was going off, so he checks his phone. So he says, I will be really glad when all this election nonsense and drama is over. And I agreed with him. And he said, we just need to know who won. And I said, well, in case you hadn't seen the news this morning, thinking, well, maybe he hasn't seen the news, so he doesn't know that it's been called. I said, election was called for Biden, so we have a new president coming in. Here's where everything went ham. I watched this man transform from this handsome, funny, kind, generous, sweet, thoughtful. Did I mention funny and handsome? Hilarious guy that I've been talking to for weeks now. He went from that to basically Donald Trump. His skin turned orange. He's bald, but he grew a flip. You know, that blonde flip thing Trump got going on. All in front of my very eyes within a matter of seconds. And he opens his mouth and he says, you ready? He opens his mouth and says, that election was stolen. There is no way he won it. And we are going to get to the bottom of this once and for all because Trump was cheated. Y'all, it was one of those out of body moments where you kind of tell yourself, I knew it was too good to be true. And so I'm going, no. He starts laughing. What? What's wrong? What's wrong? I said, no. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. What? Because I'm one of them? I'm a Trumper? Yep, that's exactly what's wrong. You're one of them. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I was so sad. It was funny because it felt like everything was moving in slow motion. It was like I could see him in slow motion saying all these things and shouting all the he went from laughing, mild-mannered, funny, chit-chatting, snickering to a full-on yell, shouting all the rhetoric that Donald Trump has been spreading about the stolen election, voter fraud, people cheating him. I was floored. Y'all, I couldn't believe it. And so I just sat there for the next few minutes thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Do I just get up and leave or do I sit here and try to play it? What do I do? He decided he needed to get some things off of his chest. We then engage in probably a 30, 45-minute discussion on politics. As you can tell, I had no idea he was one of them. I have managed to leave politics out of my conversations when I'm, meeting guys early on for this very reason. I had such high hopes. I had such high hopes for him. It's been a hot mess. We have still been in touch. We text back and forth. We talk on the phone some. We haven't gotten back together. We haven't seen each other. Yes, there have been a few of those conversations in between where he's going nuts about some political stuff and the conspiracy theories and wanting me to look at this site and that site, random stuff that I've never heard of with definitely some very strange content. Now, let me be clear on something. It's not the fact that he's Republican. That's not a problem. It's his choice. It's not the fact that he voted for Trump. I can accept that. Not an issue. The fact is, for me, I cannot get past the issue of him being a little bit less than smart to believe all of the nonsense and all the rhetoric. I'm disappointed in him as an individual for not being smarter than that and not having any common sense. I now look at him as one of those people who is gullible and kind of falls for anything and believes whatever people tell him. That's where the issue is coming in. I don't think we're going to be able to make it, y'all. With it being Thanksgiving week, he did decide to travel to his home state to hang out with the family for a little bit. It just happens to be Michigan. And he's had some choice words for the governor there that just alarmed me and it bothered me. And it put me in the position to say, now, wait a minute. Clearly, you're not racist because you're with me. Clearly, you're not racist because you were married to a black woman for 7, 8 years. Where does all of this come from? What can I expect from you if we're out in public and somebody decides to go in on me, or I get some racist crap, which does happen here in small town Tennessee? Let me just tell you, it does. Are you going to jump on the Republican side and attack me, or are you going to protect me? He says, nobody's ever going to mess with you when you're with me. I will beat somebody's ass before they mess with you or harass you or give you a hard time. So I took a little bit of comfort in knowing that, at least. But at the same time, now I look at him as a big dum-dum. Y'all, is it too much to ask that this can work? I think it's too much to ask that this can work. I think we have seen all, or should I say, we've seen everything that we need to see in each other. Does this mean back to the drawing board? I guess so. You guys need to be careful about the people you run across out in this world. There are so many crazies. There are so many racists. There are so many people who just like to divide and be obnoxious and rude and ungrateful. It's an ugly place out there. My little feelings are hurt. Fortunately, I found out sooner as opposed to later. And this election brought it out in him. Last time I spoke to him a few days ago, he is still unwilling to accept the fact. And he basically turns into a nut job when we're talking about anything related to the current state of the world, to election. But could you imagine sitting in a park and watching somebody just transform in front of your very eyes, just morph from this funny, very pleasant to be around person to a shouting, screaming Donald Trump in your face? Because that's what happened. I was startled. Didn't see that coming. Didn't expect it. Had no idea. If you have any advice for me, I would love to hear it. I don't think we can overcome this because he's hardcore. I'm not hardcore about politics at all. I don't even, the only reason I got involved this year is because it was an election year and because I knew that I needed to do my part and vote. This president of ours has, brought out a lot of things that I didn't like seeing in our world right now. So I did what I needed to do. Thank the Lord it worked out. And now, I guess I've lost my crazy man in the process. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If you think we can make it work, tell me how, because I need to know. Are you in a relationship with somebody who doesn't share your views? Not only doesn't share your views, but is passionate and fiercely annoying about his or her views, which makes things really tense and uncomfortable when the subject comes up. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear about. So, in the meantime, I guess I'll get back on the app, on the site, and start looking again. I always heard your first one never goes anywhere. So he was my first actual meet in person. So that was that. It was an experience. It gave me a story to tell. And now I know what to look for and what to expect or not expect moving forward. With that said, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today. I really, really, really want to know what you have to say. I need some feedback on this situation. I just got to figure out. I kind of don't have anything to figure out. It's pretty clear, but I would like to tell myself that I do. Please give me a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing if you just found me by accident. We got a lot more crazy things to talk about. I love you. I thank you. And I will see you very, very, very soon. Take care. Bye.